Medford, Wisconsin, sponsored by Polaris, Red Bull, Walker Evans Racing, FXR Racing, Woody's Traction, as well as Polaris Lubricants. He's aboard the number 3 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Peterson.
Adam, the results on paper haven't matched the speed you've displayed yet this season. So how do you turn it all around here this weekend to get yourself back up on the podium?
Yeah, we're still searching for that podium. Luckily, we're still top 5 in points, so it's going to be key to get some good starts here this weekend.
Looking forward to seeing you out there. Best of luck.
Just 10 points ahead of him is our most recent AMSOIL Championship Snocross AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown winner, and he did it in his backyard. From Chicoutimi, Quebec, he rides for Warner Racing on a Skidoo, sponsored by Makita, FVP Parts, NTN, GMC, XPS, KYB, and Enzo Canada. He is a 2-time winner in the 2024 AMSOIL Championship Snocross season in his rookie year in the AMSOIL Pro category. Riding the number 511, this is Jordan Lebel.
Jordan, we were chatting earlier and you said it's the explosiveness off the start and the intensity in the first few laps that you've struggled with recently. So how do you put yourself up in the mix early on in the start here tonight?
I think we're just going to try something different, and we practiced a lot back home last week and the week after Valcourt, so hopefully we can put this out here today.
Best of luck out there.
And ladies and gentlemen, your third place rider at points is the 5-time and defending AMSOIL Pro champion. Unfortunately, because of an injury he suffered in Deadwood, he will not be able to defend that title, but he is here with us to greet our fans here in upstate New York and around the world on FloRacing. He hails from Oppdal, Norway, riding for the Skokvist race team on a Skidoo. Sponsored by Northland Concrete and Masonry Company, FXR Workwear, Rieger Companies, and Semstone Supply. Ladies and gentlemen, the Viking Rocket, Elias Ishul.
Elias, a lot of applause from the fans as you're rolling up. From all of us here at AMSOIL Championship Snocross, we are so happy to have you out here, and it means a lot that you wanted to be a part of opening ceremony still. So why was it so important for you to come out here to New York for your team and these New York fans?
For sure, this was probably the hardest lap I've done the whole year, probably the slowest too. But yeah, I got so much love from everyone, from the support to all the fans, to all the teams and everyone. So I just wanted to put I had the opportunity to do one more lap out there, and I just wanted to show that. And thanks so much to everyone. And yeah, I love the sport, so thank you so much.
Again, so happy to have you out here, and we're wishing you a speedy recovery. Guys, give it up for Elias Ishul.
Your runner-up in the point standings has switched teams this year. He's riding for Elias's team from last year and the gang from Thien Motorsports. On his Skidoo, he hails from Saint Félicien, Quebec, sponsored by FXR, North American Trailer, Aluminum Cabinet Company, Classic Construction, and Roland Transport. He is aboard the number 220. This is Francis Peltier.
Francis, you're coming off 2 strong podiums in our previous round in Valcourt. What's it going to take to replicate those efforts here tonight?
Yeah, here the track is super tight, so we're just going to keep this on the skis and hopefully end up pretty good after the first round so we can end up the night on the podium again.
Looking forward to seeing you out there. Best of luck.
And 12 points ahead of Francis at the top of the AMSOIL Pro standings coming into round 9. A guy who has owned this AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown format of late. He hails from Bjursund, Sweden, riding a Judnik Motorsports Polaris, sponsored by Klein, Wild River Jerky, Core RV, SSI Decals, Kutzler Express, and Walker Evans Racing. Your current AMSOIL Pro point leader on the 31, Emil Haar.
Emil, you're coming into the weekend with the points lead and a whole lot of confidence and momentum on your side. How do you hope to keep the ball rolling?
I don't know. It's important to have fun, and this is a small track, so a lot of stuff can happen out here. So I'm just going to try to do a consistent weekend here in New York and have some fun and try to end up as good as possible.
Consistency is definitely key. Best of luck to you and your team out there.
And our round 9 action begins here on this beautiful, slightly breezy night here in Salamanca, New York, with the first round of Pro Light. 3 qualifying races per round. You get a point for first, 2 for second, 3 for third. At the end of the 2 rounds, total the points together. Lowest 10-point scores lock into the front row for the final. Next 10 go to an LCQ, where the top 5 will transfer to the back row of the final.
That is right, and you're looking at Trent Whitwer right there, coming off a pretty good weekend up in Velcor, starting to really show his experience. That's one thing that he does have over a lot of these riders right now, is experience. He is no slouch on that end, but
there is the man who was one of the fastest in practice earlier today, Toby Posty, on that number 43 Makita Skidoo. And there's Jesse Kirchmeier from Arcade, New York, which is a steroid-enhanced stone's throw from Salamanca.
local boy. Really impressed with him this year. Showed a lot of speed.
Emmerich Legendre there on the 144, the 12. That'll be Dylan Rose there in the field for this one as well. You'll see the starter put his hand up in the air. When he puts that hand up in a stop motion, that green light will be coming quickly as you look at the starting lineup here for this first heat of Pro Light here this evening.
Now pay attention, the track is going to be really smooth in this first round. It's only going to get rougher. Here we go. Oh, we got early movement. It looked like her body.
And it looks like Tyler Uman may have grabbed the stud boy hole shot as they head over the Amsoil finish line jump, and Trent Whitwer is there running point now as he goes to the inside. He'll have the lead coming out of the Skidoo corner.
And that's Rose right behind him, but someone on the outside is that. It is Uman, so riding tough. Oh, look at Kenny Matrick. Showing him a little ski there. Oh, and they're showing the black flag.
Yeah, Tyler Uman having to drop back, so Whitwer will inherit the race lead here with the 115, opening up a little bit of a gap now as they work their way around this flat Arctic Cat corner that leads to the Amsoil finish line.
And you can just see how tight this track is. We're looking at 17, 18-second lap times. So, looks like Bees is sitting in that second spot. So.
Yeah, good run for Jordan Beast. We haven't seen a whole lot of him this season in Amsoil Championship Snocross. Dylan Rose, Oscar Englund on the Green Mountain racing machine, and Horbati on the number 57. Running out your top 5 here in the early going of this one, and Legendre trying to race his way up from the back of the field here as he did not get the start he was looking for. He is battling it out with Tyler Uman. Now remember, Uman had to drop back. He got that road black flag pointed up at him, so he is trying to work his way back forward and salvage a decent point total out of this qualifier.
Yeah, that's right. A little farther back, you take a look at Posty, Toby Posty, not getting the start he wanted. He had to line up all the way on that outside, and that is the challenge for these guys all night long. It's going to be getting out front early, and if your gate pick is near the back, it's going to be tough.
Posty getting by Kirchmeier puts him up into 7th. Meanwhile, Kenny Mandrick has grabbed the runner-up position now behind Trent Whitwer with a couple laps left to run here in this Pro Light qualifier, and looks like trouble for the, I believe that is Dylan Rose with the number 12, or no, actually it looks like, can't quite tell which sled that was.
Omen, yeah.
Okay. So Tyler Uman having an issue winding up pulling off the track, and that was after gaining a couple of spots. So he's going to have to watch this one from down in the infield as Whitwer continues to hold on to the lead here with less than 2 laps to go.
Whitwer electing to take it pretty easy. He's got a pretty sizable lead, and looks like we're gonna come up to our last lap.
So final lap here in Heat 1, Round 1 for Pro Light. And look at Emmerich Legendre storm his way up through, as it looks like now he is shown in the number 2 position. And he is trying to get by a rider as 1 lap down, as Whitwer will come here off the final corner to the Amsoil finish line to win our first qualifier of the evening. And it looks like actually Kenny Mandrick there getting second, then Legendre, followed by Dylan Rose, Oscar Englund completing the top 5 for this first heat race of the evening. So we'll get ready for heat number 2. We see Colton Krajcek joining us here. Colton from Denison, Iowa. There's the runner-up right now in Pro Light points, Nick Lorenz, and he is a ways away. How far away? Try 77 points. That is the gap that Creighton Dillon has. We'll see Dillon in heat number 3. Anson Shield currently 4th in the points. Evan Christian is 3rd. Kenny Mandrick, who we just saw in heat number 1, by the way, 5th in points right now.
That's right. We got some veterans, 9 and 10. Corin Todd, Devin Dedman.
Oh, yeah. Good to see those guys back.
Local boy, Corin Todd. He looked fast in practice.
And he has run a Pro Light race earlier this season. He ran at Shakopee at Canterbury Park in the Friday portion in the Pro Light class, and then he's been running the full schedule for Pro-Am Plus 30 this year on that Southside Polaris sled.
Riding really solid. Talked to his dad earlier today, and his dad's not sure why he's out there. He can't figure it out, but I think we all know why. He still loves it. He's doing really good things. Super competitive. Now he's on that outside, though. That's going to be a tough start. Nick Lorenz, see you there.
Everybody on those hot start buttons, getting the pipes up to temperature. So we're just a few seconds away from turning them loose here for Heat 2 of Pro Light. Here we go.
Yeah, it looks like Anson Shields going to have the advantage on that inside.
Everybody else kind of swept up to the outside, left that inside lane open almost as a gift, but one of the Arctic Cat sleds ripping the outside here, trying to hang with them as they make their way down the backstretch. Watch that black and blue sled that's bucking like a bronco. That is a battle for the race lead, turning into a battle now for second behind the 44.
Yeah, look at Lorenz. He's jumped right into 3rd, now 2nd. He was about 5th. So he's making some quick moves, which you have to do in these types of races.
So Anson Shield on that Amsoil U.S. Air Force Skidoo holding on to the top spot here as they come over the Amsoil finish line jump. Lorenz hanging on there in the 2 spot, taking the outside around the Skidoo corner, trying to whip up some momentum here, and he is still having to deal with the 153 of Colton Krajcek, who was giving him fits there for a couple of laps before he could solidify himself in second.
Yeah, that's right. These two here, Anson Shield and Lorenz, they are the 2 that are really starting to pick up the pace and find their groove this year. And you can see Lorenz, he gets really close on that rhythm section. He's got a line there.
They're separated by 16 points, by the way, coming into this round 9. And while Lorenz staying committed to that outside, I don't know if it's faster, but by the time we get around to the other side of the track where the Amsoil finish line jump is, Lorenz is chewing up that gap.
Yeah, watch for Lorenz just to sit here until the last lap, and if that is still the case and he's right on the tail of Anson, he might try to dive inside, put a block pass, and steal that win. Ooh, Anson having a little trouble.
And Lorenz closes the gap once again within a sled length, but he gets hung up on that soft ridge of snow coming off the corner, out of the cat corner, and that takes away some of that track position again. And that's just the ebb and flow of the way these laps can go. And Lorenz, now he's turning up the wick. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's got that triple jumping into that rhythm section. 2 to go, so he's going to have to make something happen now. You got lappers coming up too.
And unfortunately, that lapper is going to be in Lorenz's lane, although they get clear the lane split. So he gets a free run here going down the straightaway, and he can drop right to the inside, get a face full of roost big time from Anson as the white flag waves.
Yeah, pay attention. That last corner, if there's going to be a pass, it's going to be made right there. And another lapper coming up, so is that going to play a part?
Oh, Lorenz with a big launch into this rhythm section. Bar to bar for the race lead.
Inside. Watch this. Not enough.
Wow. What a finish on that one. Anson Shield had Lorenz throwing everything but the kitchen sink, and I think if he had a sink, he probably would have hurled it at him in the last corner. But, man, good job, Anson. So Shield holds on for the win over Lorenz Christian. Corin Todd fourth. You said he was fast.
Yeah, Corin showing these young pups that he still has it in front of his local crowd.
All right, one more heat of Pro Light to go. And you'll see the red plate rolling up here with the number 96. That is Creighton Dillon. He is your point leader, 309 to 232 for Lorenz. A couple of names you may recognize if you watched last week in the Valcourt. Max Tellifer, Nathan Malou making the trip down from Quebec to join us. Jeremy Beaulieu, who had a podium finish in Valcourt in the field, and Adam Ashland with the number 710.
Yeah, that's right. Eric Downs also in there. Fast all season long.
Nathan Malou sitting next to him there on that blue Rhino Power FXR sponsored 111. Eric Downs getting help from Mystic Lubricants. Then you see the elite sled there. They're waving to the folks at home on FloRacing. There's Creighton Dillon with the Thien Motorsport crew. Getting ready to go here for this one.
Yeah, Creighton unfortunately didn't get the greatest pick here. He's going to be on the outside. He's going to have to make some quick work. Jump up front. That's where a lot of things can happen though, and trouble can run your way. So Creighton's going to have to use his head, get through that first corner, and then assess his race in front of him and push towards that front. And don't worry, he will be pushing towards that front.
Well, it kind of begs the question now, when you've got somebody who's basically having a dream season, they've won almost everything except the pony at this point. How hard is it to get lost in your own head waiting for a shoe to drop somewhere?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I can't get inside of his head, but all I can see is the amount of confidence he has right now. And he's not even thinking that he can't get the whole shot over there. He in his mind, he believes he can get it done. So look for him to go for it. And if it's not there, he'll check up, dive inside, and assess the damage from there and wait and watch for him to find some lines. That's one thing that Creighton will do, is get pretty creative along that back section, and he'll maneuver himself right up front in not too long a time.
He's looking pretty calm and collected here, thinking about going to work in the office here. The pit coats are going to come off, the sleds will fire up here, and everybody will get on the butt and start getting those pipes good and hot. So we can go racing here. Final heat race, round one of Pro Light here at the U.S. Air Force Snocross National. Dillon's going to have a hard time coming from that outside lane, though, trying to get a hole shot, isn't he?
You just never know. If he gets that light perfect, and the way they've had that sled running all season long,
and at least
anything is possible.
He has a little room with no sled lined up to his left.
Ooh, he nailed that start. Look at this.
And that's how you rip a whole shot in snowcross, boys and girls. Creighton Dillon doing what he does best, getting out front. Eric Downs was an early second as they'll head through this FXR rhythm section into the U.S. Air Force flyaway.
Yeah, and that was an absolute ace start. And that's what confidence will do for you.
Well, a little bumper tag going on back here for second, third, and fourth as they all try to settle it out. Jeremy Beaulieu has moved into second. Downs in third, and they are dogfighting for fourth as the battle for second starts to heat up different lanes here through the rhythms. Here comes Nathan Malou on the 111. Oh boy, he just got hip checked.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of that this weekend and tonight for sure. The track being small, like we said, they're going to run from that. It is small. We don't have the snow, but it sure makes for some action. You see Downs getting that back section down pretty down well, no pun intended.
There you go. He just got barely forced for a position, so that'll bump him up another spot in the order. Lead continues to be held by Creighton Dillon with Jeremy Ballou in second, followed by Downs Force, Max Talifer. Adam Ashline kind of got swallowed up there at the start, and he's struggling to try to move his way forward here, but he's still got a little bit of time. Eric Downs on that Mystic Lubricant sled. Still in a battle there with Bailey Forst coming out of the corner. And this rhythm section here, that FXR US Air Force combo, man, that's starting to get rough.
Yeah, it sure changed quickly. That's one thing. When it starts to be that short lap time, these machines will move a lot of snow quickly, and you're seeing it. It was only about 10 minutes ago that section was perfectly groomed, and it was a different track altogether.
So Dillon continuing to hold on to a pretty comfortable margin here. That is Jeremy Ballou coming off the corner there in second, and a full straightaway of track ahead of him is where race leader Creighton Dillon is plying his trade right now with a couple laps to go.
Yeah, Creighton's got a nice lead. He's looking back. He knows where he's at. No need to take any unnecessary risk, and he's just so smooth and calculated, dialed in. The whole season has been that for him as he takes the last lap.
So he'll charge off into that Skidoo corner, staying on that inside lane, and Jeremy Ballou is about 5.5 seconds back in the second spot. So Dillon translating that whole shot into a comfortable race win here as we wrap up round one of Pro Light qualifying. Here comes Jeremy Ballou. He will slip through for second. Eric Downs third. Fourth goes to, looks like Downs, actually, a little mistake there in the timing and scoring. So it's Dillon and Ballou 1 and 2. The Callan 34 actually one lap down at the finish. So Downs, Force, Telfer, the rest of the top five as we get the updated timing and scoring for you. So that concludes round one of Pro Light. How about we do some AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown racing when we come back here to the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino. It's AMSOIL Championship Snocross on FloRacing.
Anything in that building is a target. Cleared hot, cleared hot. Okay, that's all I needed.
Winter hits different. It's epic, extreme, exhilarating. A season for fresh tracks, big smiles, and living in the moment with your crew. When the temperature goes down, the excitement goes up. And when the snow falls, the adventures begin. This is Ski-Doo season. Get out there and experience your best winter yet.
When a hydraulic or industrial hose fails, equipment stops, and that means lost time, productivity, and operating costs. PerTech's cutting-edge mobile and retail services, 1-hour ETA, and quality products are designed to keep essential heavy machinery and equipment working. Minimize your downtime by making PerTech your only call for on-site hydraulic and industrial hose maintenance and replacement. Or visit your local PerTech service and supply center for immediate custom fabricated hoses. PerTech, we'll keep you operating.
There's a feeling in your bones that starts long before the mercury drops. It's a call to the wild, an age-old instinct to set out in pursuit of thrill, to chase the rush and make the most out of every second, to connect through every climb and every mile. To those who feel it, moments like these are out here for the taking.
Well, the hillside's filled up pretty good here on the event center side of the Seneca Allegheny Resort and Casino here at the U.S. Air Force Snocross National. Robbie, looking at the PerTech track report, temperatures right at the freezing mark.
That's right. And obviously, we are fortunate enough to have the snow that we do have. We got to see a little bit of action-packed racing today. Turning out pretty good.
Snow on the wet side, conditions a little bit blustery with the winds from the north at 13 miles per hour. That's actually blowing down the grandstand side of the track, the length of the track. So at the Amsoil finish line, you are jumping into the wind a little bit. Now remember, if a Polaris Pro Racer wins a final, you get yourself some swag, as in a free Polaris shop rag, because when Polaris wins, you win. I like those kinds of things. Here on the grounds, don't forget our Amsoil coloring zone that is in the event center. It's open all day today and all day tomorrow. If you're coming out to join us for the action here in person, a lot of great vendors, and of course you can get your official FXR gear and your Amsoil Championship Snocross gear on site. You can even do the U.S. Air Force Quick Change Challenge. Win yourself a seat cushion. See how fast you can pop on and pop off a CNA throw ski. Sounds easy, is not easy.
Have you tried?
Several times, unsuccessfully. That's why I'm sitting here in the booth. Of course, you could also check out all our great social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, X. We're on TikTok and YouTube with tons of fresh content all season long. All right, so we're at the top right corner of the screen there here in Salamanca, New York, and then we have a pretty tough run through the month of March after a weekend off next week. It's a stretch run to the finish.
Yeah, Sioux Falls, Lake Geneva, Elk River, Minnesota, and then wrap it up in Duluth, Minnesota. Iconic Duluth. Usually started with that one back in the day, and now we're going to run it at the end of the year. Looking forward to that as well. So,
I'm getting things ready to go for our first Amsoil Pro Triple Crown event of the evening. The starting line picks were determined by the practice qualifying earlier today, and the number one qualifier, guy on the right-hand side of your screen there on one of the Arctic Cats. He did it again, second time in 3 rounds. Daniel Benham.
yeah, they're sure figuring that Arctic Cat out, and they are crazy fast out there. He wasn't just a little faster. He was a full half a second faster than the competition. And on this size of track, that makes a big difference. So he has done his homework, looking good, but he's got competition to his right, and that's Jordan LaBelle, Cody Camp.
And you can see the riders that did not make the top 10 that have to start this one from the back row, including Hunter Patino, Francis Pelletier. Again, not a good qualifying effort. Evan Doubt and Travis Kern. Now, at the Skidoo Grand Prix de Valcourt, Pelletier wound up having to start in the back in the first Triple Crown, and he was able to work himself up. So much so, he wound up on the podium at the end of the 3 races. So it can be done. It just makes it hard on yourself.
Yeah, it sure does. Har, he's lining up 7th from that inside, and he's one that if he doesn't get the start, he will be pushing all the way to the end. He knows how important this one matters, because you can set yourself up for the rest of the night with a podium finish. Get that gate pick.
And one of the dark horses here might be Jacob Yerk with that number 727 Arctic Cat sled. He's been fast as well, starting 4th from the right here, and it looks like we're just about ready to turn it loose. AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown, round 1.
Oh, the light goes green quick. Who's going to be? Oh, Benham.
Sliding it to the inside. Benham and Yerk. And Jordan LaBelle in third. Emo Hard not quite getting the start. And it's the two Arctic Cats, so they're going to try to run away here at the front of the field in the early going.
And that's Cody Cam, it looks like, jumping into that third spot past LaBelle. So LaBelle finding troubles early in the races. Always, oh, we got guys down.
And Padnote from the back row up into the top 5. So he had a flyer of an opening lap in this one, but it is still Jacob Yerk holding on to that number 1 spot. And here comes Cody Cam looking for second and looking for it now.
Yeah, Padnote finally getting out into that 5th place spot. He needed something, a little bit of spark. Look at LaBelle right in there as well, so pay attention to these guys back here.
LaBelle's got a neat line going there on the outside and allowed him to chew up some of that track position as they almost slide those sleds off that flat turn before the AMSOIL finish line jump. Yerk leads by about 2 seconds here as they work their way back down here into the FXR section.
So Benham, Yerk, Cam, that is our podium. Oh, Yerk, looks like he, oh, sorry, timing and scoring got me a little mixed up right now.
We're watching Daniel Benham, Jacob Yerk still in second, and only, it looks like maybe about a second or so back as they come back over the AMSOIL finish line jump. They work their way into the corner. It's Cam in third, followed by LaBelle. Padnote in the mix there as well on the U.S. Air Force AMSOIL Skidoo sled. Leaders coming back through as we're closing in on 6 minutes to go. Each of these races are timed races. Once the clock runs out, the next time the leader comes around, they see the white flag, and that wraps the race up. You take the 3 races, a point for a win, 2 for a second, 3 for a third, added up, lowest total wins.
And look at the lead these two have gathered. They're already catching the back of the pack, and Cody Cam sitting in third, but he is way off the pace. He is almost a full straightaway behind. So Team Arctic Cat getting their homework done early, and they are putting it to the competition tonight.
So Yerk working his way behind Benham. Benham now has caught the back of the field. We knew this was going to happen sooner rather than later on a short track. Riley Bester trying to stay on the lead lap here, but he's in the same lane that the race leader is using. That might slow him up a little bit.
Yeah, you can see Benham, he makes a quick move there. He's going to get Bester. So 1 down, a whole lot to go though. You can see Salston right in front of him as well.
And he's got a sled flanked out to his right on the outside there as well. And Jacob Yerk trying to stay with him here, but Benham, he's slicing and dicing his way through this traffic.
Whoa, Yerk and Doubt almost collided in the air. If I'm Jacob Yerk right now, I'm going to push as hard as I can to stay close.
Oh, we have the yellow flag waving, and Evan Dowd is not with his sled. His sled is in the middle of the track, and I can't tell. Looks like he had damage to that right side handguard, so maybe something happened there. A crash, he may have augured that sled.
Yeah, that was him and Yerk. They collided a lap before that, and I think Yerk was trying to just make sure he could make that pass. He knew he was trying to put him a lap down, and hopefully they can get that sled moved off the track.
Now there is Benham working his way down the backstretch once again, tight to the inside. You see the blue flag waving for the lap traffic. That lets riders know that the leaders are coming up on them as we are now less than 4 minutes plus a lap to go here in this first AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown race with Daniel Benham leading in heavy traffic.
Yeah, look at that. Unfortunately, those blue flags can't wave enough.
How close was that? He almost landed on Marcus Ogamar. And
yeah.
There is Jacob Yerk, who is chasing after race leader Benham from the number 2 spot.
Well, and Ogamar has to be smarter than that. He has to know that this track is small. Get out of the way. The blue flag is waving for a reason. Just make sure you take a look around. You can't not move for the leaders.
Well, the gap right now is about a third of a straightaway of this track between Benham and Yerk. To put it in physical terms, in time terms, it's a little over a second. Doesn't seem like a lot, actually is a lot, especially in the heat of battle. By the way, Cody Cam still rolling in third, and where's Emo Har? Uncharacteristically back in the number 6 position right now.
Yeah, and that's just due to the track conditions and the size of the track. He's one that likes to go searching for lines, and he can't do that right now. It is a little harder with the amount of room there is out there. So Benham running the perfect race out front. Yerk just following suit. But Cam sitting in that third spot. He is one to wait for him. He might find something a little later and start closing in. We still have plenty of time.
And 2 riders that are having a good run here in 4th and 5th that'll at least keep them in contention for the overall would be Jordan LaBelle on the 511. That's that turquoise sled, and he is putting some major league heat on Cody Cam.
That's right, and you remember Jordan almost comes off the track.
I don't know how he kept it in the ballpark.
Yeah, that was lucky. He was on the edge, and Jordan needs to start his race with the same intensity that you're seeing right now, because he was in front of Cody. Now he just wasted 6 minutes of the race just to get back to that same position. And
you are not going to get that kind of ride at any amusement park. I can guarantee you that. I can't believe LaBelle was just pinned with the throttle right on the edge of the snow, almost flies out of the track, almost flies out again in the turn, and still makes the pass.
Yeah, that was full commitment. There's no doubt there. And I'll tell you what, Benham had a rough lap that last one around. Obviously, lappers being a part of it. LaBelle, fastest on the track right now, so pay attention to him. If he can get a clean run, he might get back to the tail of these two.
And there is Daniel Benham putting a lap on Oscar Norm as we close in on the final minute plus a lap in this first AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event of the evening.
Yeah, Jordan's got a line on this back section where Benham's going to be entering that is just a little nicer, a little smoother and cleaner. That's where he's making his time right now.
Less than 45 seconds to go. Another one of the Lavallee Red Bull Polaris is in front of your leader. That is the Adam Peterson, number 3. Peterson currently 5th in the AMSOIL Pro points. Knows the leader is alongside and gives him enough room to escape on the inside. So it'll be a couple of more laps here for Daniel Benham. He'll come around, and then probably the next time through, he might see a white flag.
And pay attention to LaBelle. He is not that far off Jacob Yerk. It is close. He's right there. Yerk, you can see, not only a few sled lengths in front of him. So just as I predicted, LaBelle right here, he's getting over that nice. Right here, double. Look at the gap. It's already closed. He's almost in the same corner. 2 laps to go. Is it enough?
Well, LaBelle trying to put on the late race charge here as he'll crank to the outside of that skidoo corner. Yerk staying on that slower but shorter line on the inside, but here comes LaBelle with another run.
It is going to be close on this last lap. LaBelle makes a little mistake there, and that's going to be it.
So your race leader, Daniel Benham, trying to cruise it around to pick up the win. There is Benham on the Woody's Racing Arctic Cat coming off the corner. Benham, the number 1 qualifier, wins the first race of the Triple Crown. Jacob Yerk makes it in an Arctic Cat 1-2. LaBelle coming across the line to finish in 3rd. Then it looks like it'll be Cody Cam and Hunter Patnode from the back row to 5th.
Hunter Patnode putting in the work and getting it done.
And I don't know how many people would have had the 2 Arctic Cats 1-2 on their bingo card after the first main event of the evening, but that's why we run these races, because you never know.
No, you sure don't, and love to see that. Definitely get some Arctic Cat fans something to cheer about. That's exactly what Dan Benham did right there. He led that one wire to wire and looked fantastic.
And Daniel Benham getting the nod here in the first AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown race, so he will go in with 1 point into round number 2. All right, we're going to step aside here on FloRacing as the cleanup crew will go out and do a little grooming and smoothing. When we come back for you, it'll be the Pro-Am women's turn to go racing. Before we go, though, let's catch up with Daniel Benham, the winner of the AMSOIL Pro Triple Crown main event number 1. He is rolling up right now, and it looks like Erica is standing by with him. Go ahead, Erica.
Thanks, Paul. Dan, you and I were chatting earlier, and you said you and the team made some key clutching and sled adjustments that have made you much more comfortable and confident on the sled. Do you feel like those paid off and contributed toward this statement ride here in round 1?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I got to give this up to the whole shot. I mean, this track is like nothing we've ever seen before. We probably ran into lappers like lap 7 or 8. Never seen anything quite like it. So I think the name of the game is just get out front and then try and navigate the lappers. I was keeping a close eye on second and just trying to manage. And yeah, I'm happy with that one.
As you should be. You were able to negotiate those lappers with these, so best of luck to you out there in round 2.
Thank you.
So Daniel Benham throws down the gauntlet here in